Two most powerful people vow to work together to make the decade ahead both peaceful and prosperous. President Bush followed up on a tradition begun by his predecessor Ronald Reagan and taped a New Year's Day greeting to the Soviet people. Soviet President Gorbachev again did the same for Americans. Both acknowledged the extraordinary changes 1989 brought to the East Bloc. Mr. Gorbachev said, quoting here, "The whole world is progressing, and we're deeply convinced the epoch of peace is possible." He added, though it won't come automatically.
Just moments after the ball dropped, a small army from the sanitation department hit the streets, cleaning up an estimated 25 tons of party hats, confetti, empty bottles, and lost shoes. We're not sure exactly why the lost shoes, but the sanitation workers, they're just finishing cleaning up right now.
On your mark, let's start the Family Feud.
In 20 years, you have met the most fascinating people in Pine Valley. Now, relive the most memorable times when All My Children presents a very special show tomorrow.
Your call will cost only $3 to cover postage and handling. Episodes is our gift from ABC Daytime to you. So call today, 1-900-860-2600.
It's terrible.
You have to drive it to believe it. The new Accord.
You had your chance to ring in the holidays. Now prepare to scream in the new year. Two deadly movies back to back.
Some kind of monsters killing people and drinking their blood.
The Night of Fright begins with The Horror of Party Beach, starring a mutant zombie sea creature. Then, Journey to Jupiter in search of fire maidens from outer space. Scream in the new year, Monday night at 7 on Channel 50.
Don't party with death. Don't drink and drive.
At City Center Theater, call Teletron.
I feel like I know you. Like I've known you for a long time. I feel like I've known you forever and ever.
It's like the blood droppings from a deer you've shot. And all they gotta do is follow those droppings, and pretty soon they're gonna find that deer.
I ain't interrupting this,
In Atlanta, things got off to a peachy start, even though it happened about 9 seconds late. Elsewhere in the...
Hi, if you can't find our book at your local bookstore, please give us a call. 1-800-LIFE-101. 1-800-LIFE-101. The number's more important than my face. Also available on cassettes. 1-800-LIFE-101. Thanks a lot.
A few hundred people trashed the Marriott Marquis Hotel, throwing chairs, shooting fire extinguishers, and throwing plants. One worker said the place looked like World War III. In Los Angeles, it sounded a bit like a war zone. Throughout the city, well-armed residents used their guns as noisemakers, despite repeated warnings from police that someone might get hurt.
With the new year, we get a new mayor. New York City's first black mayor, David Dinkins, was sworn in shortly after midnight. The ceremony took place at the home of Judge Fritz Alexander, who administered the oath of office, and it was attended by about 100 of Dinkins' family and friends, including Jesse Jackson.
Norman Dinkins.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America.
That I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America.
The Constitution of the State of New York.
The Constitution of the State of New York.
Democracy, to protect the integrity of the Panama Canal treaties, and to bring General Manuel Noriega to justice. All of these objectives have now been achieved. At about 8:50 this evening, General Noriega turned himself in to U.S. authorities in Panama with the full knowledge of the Panamanian government.
Once ran Panama with an iron fist. Today, he's in Miami as a common criminal. We'll have the latest live from Florida and Washington on the surrender of Manuel Noriega.
The Crimson Tide of Alabama is the nation's 7th-ranked team. They feature a linebacker who most likely will be the first player picked in the upcoming NFL draft. Keith McCants, a junior, has what many scouts see as the potential to be the next Lawrence Taylor. Tonight from the Superdome, a game that could help decide the national championship, the U.S. F&G Sugar Bowl.
Save now at King Cullen's Sale of the 90s. Refreshing Pepsi, Diet Pepsi or Slice, just 90 cents. Chunk White Bumblebee Tuna, 91 cents in oil or water. Hunt's Tomato Sauce, 5 cans for 95 cents, regular or unsalted. And a half gallon of 4-star ice cream, all flavors, $1.99.
Got the price that's right, and so much more. We're King Cullen, your Long Island store.
Tic-tac-toes.
Time to eat.
Tic-tac-toes.
Extremely fun. Oh, so delicious.
If you like to play X's and O's, you'll love to eat. Tic-tac-toes.
A good hot meal.
Get 3 X's or O's in your spoon, you win.
Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee.
Play tic-tac-toes. Eat tic-tac-toes. With or without meatballs.
We come to have F-U-N, the Wizard of Words.
Who would you like to meet on Alphabet Street?
I spell postman.
His letters are fun.
I spell milkman.
2 heads are better than 1.
Your city's fun. We'd like to stay.
And stop the clock. You can stay all day. Alphabets, the letter-shaped cereal that spells F-U-N.
Truth about Mother Goose. The best in family entertainment is heading your way, beginning Tuesday, January 2nd at 8 p.m.
The Year of the Horse is underway in Japan, though many celebrants dressed as demons and dragons as part of the various religious rituals associated with the holiday. During the next 3 days, more than 30 million people are expected to turn out at places of worship.
The same trucks that haul garbage or toxic chemicals one day may haul juice or meat the next.
I think everybody does it.
And it's legal. Watch 2020 Friday.
Meanwhile, at Candlestick Park, the 49ers have the lead over the Vikings, 7-3. Vikings got a field goal. Jerry Rice just caught a 72-yard touchdown pass from Joe Montana, and San Francisco takes the lead at 7-3. We're headed for Mile High Stadium now. Dick Enberg and Bill Walsh will call the Steelers and Broncos from there. Let's check with them for a preview. Dick?
How is my meatloaf?
Oh, excellent.
That was meatloaf?
Trouble in the Soviet Union tonight. Mikhail Gorbachev has put off until next week a trip to the Republic of Lithuania, where the local Communist Party has broken away from Moscow. The reason for the delay may be new trouble in another republic, Azerbaijan. The government today sent more troops to Azerbaijan, a mainly Muslim republic, where thousands of people are demanding unification with Iran, and they've destroyed border guard towers and frontier markers. Widespread disturbances are being reported all along the border, in fact.
Well, I grew up on radio, so MTV, I first saw it when my nieces were watching it. I was like 28 years old. I couldn't sell my paintings to anybody, and I was doing a series about Atlantic City. And my nieces were watching it, and I saw this Bruce Springsteen video, which was about Atlantic City. And it was just this grainy black and white thing with like a roulette wheel turning and the boardwalk. And for the first time since I was a little kid, since I heard like Jackie Wilson and the Beatles and Elvis, rock and roll again informed my work. And that nudge of recognition was important, and from then on I watched it pretty regularly.
Tell me something specific you do every New Year's Day. Louisa.
I go out dancing.
She goes out dancing.
He could hide, but he couldn't run, and you'll see why as Eyewitness News reporter Louis Young goes to Miami to bring you live coverage of Manuel Noriega's date with U.S. Justice, with Tim Minton live from Washington as our lawmakers react. And we'll look inside the Vatican Embassy to see how Noriega spent his 10 days in hiding there, plus how All My Children grew up. We go backstage to take a nostalgic look backward as the stars of All My Children prepare to celebrate their 20th anniversary on the air. Today at 5 and at 6 here on Channel 7.
That's the way it seems. Disappointment hiding on my dream. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
Mancuso's out to bust a gang lure.
He moves. Tear him apart too.
But an inside job explodes in a showdown. An all-new Mancuso, Friday.
When it comes to mysteries, we don't mind raising a little hell.
Tonight, Tom Bosley and Tracy Nelson are back in the premiere of the all-new Father Dowling Mysteries. Then, Hickok's passion gets out of hand.
I don't want you going in there. You don't belong here no more.
What are you saying, Teaspoon?
I'm saying you're fired.
The Young Writers, tonight.
Is it good?
Not bad at all.
Well, that's quite a compliment coming from you.
Dinty Moore beef stew.
But you never liked my food.
Oh, I like this all right.
It still has only 240 calories per 8-ounce serving.
You really like it?
Yep, just fine.
How about another helping?
Yep.
But now it's available in a microwavable bowl.
Where'd you plug that thing in?
Tucson.
To win, you've got to play it. Jeopardy! Tonight at 7, here on...
The symbol of the 90s. And Sting, you're a respected man. You've been my friend, pal. If it's you and I in the 25th, we're going to tear the joint down.
Well,
How to find happiness on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
First, it was teacher to student. Then it was father to son. Now it's man to man. The Karate Kid Part 3, now available on video cassette.
I'm getting paid $2,000 to do this commercial. Plus, every time it airs, I get $375 in royalties.
when I see something breathtaking, I have to paint it. And I think you're definitely breathtaking.
Heard stories about artists and models. You need protection, honey. You call me.
Romanians are contemplating a year of new prosperity and freedoms, but are marking the holiday in somber fashion. Candles burned through the night in Bucharest in memory of those who died during the recent revolution.
It's official.
Czechoslovakia said today that 2/3 of the country's prisoners, 23,000 altogether, will be released in the next 3 weeks under an amnesty program announced by the new president, Václav Havel.
6 points away from $5,000, I ask you. The smallest bill you get each month, you said? Your water bill. Did 6 people say it just for $5,000? Please. Our survey said...
Is arraigned in Florida. Thousands of Panamanians cheer his surrender and U.S. troops start coming home. Watch Peter Jennings on ABC's World News Tonight. Then,
She topped the pop charts in the 50s. In the 70s, an imposter using her name topped the obituaries. Now, Primetime Live finds another imposter tonight.
How did George Graham plan to snatch the title with almost the last kick of the season?
I'll tell you in this. Inside Football, the best football magazine I've ever seen.
Inside Football covers the lot. The agony, the ecstasy, the skills, the spills, the all-time heroes, tomorrow's superstars, the great games, the great clubs.
Orleans, and right now we're 60 minutes away.
Okay, now I'll ask you the same question I asked Clay Matthews. It's either Denver or Pittsburgh, but Denver has got to be so much deeper in you guys' souls. Who do you guys want to see next week?
Well, right now we're just glad to be there. We love to be at home because if we play Pittsburgh, we'd be at home. But we're just glad to be there.
And Romania's new government today lifted restrictions on travel. It said all Romanians will be able to go freely to the West with passports available within just 1 day. And officials in China...
Thank you for joining us. I'm Lynn Russell. Happy New Year. Around the world in 30 minutes, this is Headline News.